But I assure you that this countryman will not be running tongue for country people alone. Because he wants an island where there is no tongue versus country, no north versus south, but just one Tobago, where every community benefits equally, where big and small contractors benefit equally, where employment opportunities are shared equally, where the THA is not controlled by party groups, but controlled by legitimate communities. That's the kind of development we offer you. And so tonight, Tobago starts a new day for Tobago. It starts as of midnight. We wake up tomorrow with new resolve. We wake up tomorrow ready for change. PDP, family, friends who are here, I urge you, we cannot behave like those we replaced tonight. We have to do better. We are required to do better. The standard is higher for us, and it is important that that standard be raised high enough that even our friends and family in Trinidad can look on and begin to envy what we are able to accomplish in our small democracy and on our small island. Tobago, I cannot thank you enough. This win should also be a solid message to the central government, being led by a Tobago-born Prime Minister, that you cannot treat Tobagonians the way you want. We will reject that, and we have rejected that. Let this win be a strong message that Tobago has rejected your incomplete autonomy bill, and we demand more. Let this be a resounding message, a strong message, that we have rejected your notion that we are only good enough to earn $200 million per year and we must resort to being beggars of the national purse. Let this be a strong message, Mr. Prime Minister, that we in Tobago have rejected your bullying tactics, and that the kind of bullying that is part of the political culture in Trinidad is not welcomed in Tobago. And so, Mr. Prime Minister, even before we get to Thursday swearing in, I want to say to you that I hope we can have a cordial relationship, because country must come before party and country must come before self. I urge you, do not spite Tobago, because the Tobagonians I know are mighty enough to also get rid of you. Let that be a warning that you ought to respond to us in a dignified manner, and that we are willing to work with you to see this island develop. We have been behind for far too long. Our development parameters have not worked for far too long, and it has to work from henceforth. And Mr. Prime Minister, we want you to share our vision. You are not Prime Minister for the PNM, but you are Prime Minister for all of Trinidad and Tobago. And therefore, you must conduct yourself in that office that is reflective of an absence of bias when it comes to the people of Tobago, because we will not accept any form of biases from you whatsoever. But I cannot stand here tonight and not end by thanking my family who has been around me, because very often we ignore the fact that success is never an individual story. We stand tall tonight, all 15 of us PDP candidates, because we are able to be hoisted upon someone's shoulder, because someone fought for us. Your PDP candidates, we are no big shots. We ain't come from no privileged family, but we came from humble beginnings just like you. And you the people have to keep reminding us of that, because sometimes when secretaries start driving in Prados, they just forget how it feels to sit in the back of our road. We have to remain humble and remain with our people. This has to be about good representation for the people. And let me make it clear, I love you, Tobago, more than I love my party. You have to come above the party I represent. And that must be the case for every single member who will be declared official winners of seats. Representation counts. It counts and it means something. And so I wish to thank again my family, thank the villagers of Speyside, because I am here because the fishermen who own these galvanized sheds here that operate from here daily, these were the people who, when I was studying, will save up the fish in the freezer to ensure I get good food when I come home and look in Nashi. My neighbors around here acted as my surrogate parents, and when my parents couldn't afford to send me to university, couldn't afford plane tickets, my neighbors shipped in. And it's that kind of Tobagonianness we are celebrating tonight. The kind of Tobagonianness where we know about Lenhan, where we are there in joy or in sorrow for each other. That's the kind of Tobago we need to monetize. That's the kind of Tobago value we have to hold on to. The kind of Tobago that allows us to have something like a harvest festival and allow strangers into our homes. That's the kind of Tobago we have to fight to protect. That's the kind of Tobago that has to lead the way in the transformation of this island. Let me call by name my other candidates. I have mentioned with great gratitude the work that our political leader, Comrade Watson Duke, has done when it comes to this party and this revolution. And so I will forever big you up, Mr. Duke, because this revolution could not happen if you were not brave enough to step out. And you have taken all the vilification in this country, all the slander in this country, on behalf of all of us who fought so hard to ensure we get this change tonight. Dr. Faith V. Israel, you have been an excellent source of strength during these COVID times, and we expect you as soon as Friday to be able to lead Tobago correctly when it comes to our response to COVID. Ms. Megan Morrison, Mount St. George Goodwood, you are a second-time contender in this election, and we thank you for offering yourself. Sister Natisha Charles Pantin, who it looks like has hung the jack tonight. You came into this as an underdog and you worked hard. Brother Trevor James, Scarborough and Mount Grace, you helped crafted our vision for redeveloping Scarborough and turning it into a city. Brother Ian Whitey Pollard, you were one of those who begun the swing to this day. In fact, you were the first out the gates in January, winning your seat in January and winning it convincingly again. Sister Abby Taylor, you have strength beyond strength. You vied for a seat that people thought was a foregone conclusion, but they did not understand your quiet power, and you showed up powerful in the polls today. Brother Niall George, you're having a new lease on life. Plymouth Blackrock, and perhaps your gifting comes from the fact that you are part from Plymouth and part from Speyside, and we celebrate you too, even from Speyside, because your father is from a stone throw away from here. Sister Zorisha Amina Hackett, they could talk you all they want, they cannot stop your strides. Walk with your head high, my sister. You are a fine example of what an area representative looks like. Brother Joel Nutsis Sampson, Bonaccord Crown Point, I know you felt cheated in the last election, but sometimes God says wait, sometimes God says hold on, go a little bit more, and tonight God has rewarded you finally. We then move to Brother Wayne Wasp Clark. This is your third time running. You are a volunteer extraordinaire, and we thank you for offering yourself. Brother Nigel Tate, you are one of the hardest tasks of all, because you have to go up against the leader of the other team. and you did so, and you worked hard, and you put in the work. Pastor Terence Baines, Bethel New Grace, we thank you for your hard work. We thank you for your prayerful nature, and we thank you for reminding us that God is in every victory. Brother Sonny Craig, at this moment it looks like Boko Mount Pleasant will be having sunny days ahead, and that is a seat that has never been won by anybody but the PNF. And if the numbers hold out true, you may be walking into Jerningham Street, number 1 Jerningham Street on Thursday as the new era representative. We have had a very long and arduous battle, and Tobago, you are with us all the way. For our campaign managers, the action group leaders, those who canvassed and walked on the ground, those of you Facebook warriors, without us asking you a word, you pick every fight. You pick up every fight online. You fought and fought hard, and it shows that you wanted this change even more than we did. This election victory is a powerful message to the country that money does not win elections, but good heart and plenty guts wins election. This victory is a telling sign that Tobagonians cannot be bought or sold, and no amount of big money from Trinidad putting slanderous ads on TV will ever convince us. No amount of big money from Trinidad trying to ensure that they rule this place can ever win an election in Tobago. Tobagonians are intelligent people, and we will make up our minds on our own. And we thank you, Tobago, for demonstrating once again what being a Tobagonian means. And of course, that includes those of you who have made Tobago your home for many years, who have changed your residency to Tobago, those of you born elsewhere and living here, we include you as well. And so tonight, I want to say a special commendation to my opponent and students. Sometimes a teacher needs to discipline a student to correct a student. But I urge you tonight, my young sister, I urge you to understand that this discipline was done in love, and that my love and respect for you has not changed, and that the Tobago I am fighting for is a Tobago that you too can be proud of, that will seek your best interest. And so I thank you for running this campaign, and I tell you, take heart. Take heart. I know we will see sometime soon because we reside in the same community. And I want you to know that notwithstanding the bitterness, notwithstanding the hatred that was pushed, notwithstanding the lies that were told, that you are forgiven and there is room in the inn for you. Rock and come in. I also wish to express gratitude even while I'm here, because I'm seeing teachers here, people who taught me. I'm seeing former colleagues of mine who I taught with at Faith High School. I'm seeing people that I went to school with. I am seeing neighbors that I attend church with. And this is a sign that it does not only take a village to raise a child, but it takes a village to promote a child. And I thank you for the elevation that you have given to me, and I accept it humbly. We will walk humbly hereafter. I am painfully aware that we have no honeymoon whatsoever, and we are required to get to work immediately. The election is over, and it was purposeful that I wore stark white tonight as a symbol that I have already taken off my black and my green, and I'm ready to engage you as an ordinary Tobagonian and not as a PDP, because your Tobagonianness means more to me than the party you represent. I urge you, let us work together. I urge all the public servants, the workers in the THA, that you help us as we change the guard. We are depending on you. We are depending on you, to be honest. We are depending on you to guard, become the guardians of all state resources. And we are depending on you to guide this young, new team along the journey we will take for the next 4 years. We have on this island for the first time a political party that will run the executive that has never had a single member in the ranks that were once a member of an executive. But the hallmark of great leadership is a willingness to listen and to learn, is a willingness to take telling, as we say, and it's a willingness to engage those who might be more experienced and learn to than ourselves. And we promise you that we will do just that. And so Tobago, on behalf of myself, on behalf of my leader, Comrade Watson Solomon Duke, on behalf of the other 13 candidates that joined us, on behalf of the party's executive led by Chairman Dr. Sean Ned and Mr. Andre Cowan, on behalf of the strategists that work in the background, people like Tashia Boris, people like Miss Kimmy Potts, young people again, all of you who work tirelessly in the background, Miss Chanel Felix, all of you work tirelessly in the background. We thank you greatly. And on behalf of Team PDP, we thank you, Tobago, for what you have done tonight. Please let me end by urging you to stay safe. Our COVID numbers are ridiculous, and we clearly have not managed this pandemic well enough, and we have some difficult decisions to make ahead of us. Let us make those decisions wisely, but above all, you, the people, have to make a decision to keep yourself safe. We don't have enough ICUs to take care of all of you, and we want you to live as long as you can possibly live. Please keep yourself safe. Keep our children safe.